Good morning, buddies. Today we are going to start the very first chapter of geography, that is the Earth and the solar system. In our previous classes, we have completed the very first chapter of history, studying the past. I have uploaded the notes as well as the exercise questions along with the answers to them. So do watch it, do watch the videos, and do note down the question answers as well as the notes from the material I have uploaded to parents portal in question paper section. So when we listen to this term, the earth, the solar system, certain questions arise in our mind. When it comes to earth, we wonder that why human beings, why living beings are there surviving on earth also, why the earth is having water, why is it having atmosphere, the air, why not other planet? When it comes to solar system, the question comes, how many planets are there? How do they look like? Why? What are the shining objects in the sky? Why do some of them twinkle? What holds them up there? Why is the sun visible only during the day, while at night we see numerous dots of light? Why do we see the moon increasing and decreasing in the size? We will be discussing all these questions in this particular chapter. Let us now move on to the topics which we are going to cover today. The topics which we are going to cover today are the important terms related to the chapter, the solar system, an introduction, the sun, introduction, the planets, and there will be a planet song also for you to memorize the planets and their features also as well. And the other planets, our planet Earth, will be discussing the further topics in our next class, that is in part 2. This is part 1, the Earth and the solar system. Okay, let us move on to the important terms. Heavenly bodies. All objects which we see in the sky are heavenly bodies. They are also called celestial bodies, so do not get confused. Okay, if anybody asked what are heavenly bodies or what are celestial bodies, do not get confused. Both these terms are similar. It includes the stars, the planets, the satellites, the asteroids, the comets, and meteors. When it comes to universe, the word universe stands for everything that exists in space. Nobody knows exactly how the universe was found. It probably originated about 2000 years ago due to the Big Bang. It is difficult to understand the vastness of the universe as well, because the universe has countless numbers of galaxies. We'll be discussing about galaxies also. Let us first see a video which is related to the Big Bang.
The universe. Rather beautiful, isn't it? It's quite literally got everything, from the very big to the very small. Sure, there are some less than savoury elements in there, but on the whole, scholars agree that its existence is probably a good thing. Such a good thing that an entire field of scientific endeavour is devoted to its study. This is known as cosmology. Cosmologists look at what's out there in space and piece together the tale of how our universe evolved, what it's doing now, what it's going to be doing, and how it all began in the first place. It was Edwin Hubble who first noticed that our universe is expanding by noting that galaxies seem to be flying further and further apart. This implied that everything should have started with the monumental explosion of an infinitely hot, infinitely small point. This idea was jokingly referred to at the time as the Big Bang, but as the evidence piled up, the notion, and the name, actually stuck. We know that after the Big Bang, the universe cooled down to form the stars and galaxies that we see today. Cosmologists have plenty of ideas about how this happened. But we can also probe the origins of the universe by recreating the hot, dense conditions that existed at the beginning of time in the laboratory. This is done by particle physicists. Over the past century, particle physicists have been studying matter and forces at higher and higher energies. Firstly with cosmic rays, and then with particle accelerators, machines that smash together subatomic particles at great energies. The greater the energy of the accelerator, the further back in time they can effectively peak. Today, things are largely made up of atoms, but hundreds of seconds after the Big Bang, it was too hot for electrons to join atomic nuclei to make atoms. Instead, the universe consisted of a swirling sea of subatomic matter. A few seconds after the Big Bang, it was hotter still, hot enough to overpower the forces that usually hold protons and neutrons together in atomic nuclei. Further back, microseconds after the Big Bang, and the protons and neutrons were only just beginning to form from quarks, one of the fundamental building blocks of the standard model of particle physics. Further back still, and the energy was too great even for the quarks to stick together. Physicists hope that by going to even greater energies, they can see back to a time when all the forces were one and the same, which would make understanding the origins of the universe a lot easier. To do that, they'll not only need to build bigger colliders, but also work hard to combine our knowledge of the very, very big with the very, very small, and share these fascinating insights with each other and with, well, you. And that's how it should be, because, after all, when it comes to our universe, we're all in this one together.
So that was the Big Bang Theory. I think that you must have understood the Big Bang Theory with that video. Let us move on to the next topic, that is galaxy. As we have recently discussed that the universe has countless number of galaxies. What is a galaxy? A galaxy is a huge collection of gas, dust, and billion of stars and their solar systems, all held together by gravity. What is a galaxy? A galaxy is a huge collection of gas, dust, and billion of stars and their solar systems, all held together by gravity. We'll now be discussing about the very important galaxy to us, that is the Milky Way galaxy. Our sun and all the stars that you see in the night sky belong to a galaxy. It is called the Milky Way galaxy and is also known as the Akash Ganga. This galaxy has about 10,000 crore stars. Let us watch a video in which we'll be learning about this galaxy.
On the darkest of nights, far from the lights of cars and cities, something special appears in the sky. A cloudy white stripe of light stretches across the heavens. Ancient peoples thought it looked like a stream of milk spilled across the sky, and so it is called the Milky Way. The Milky Way that we see in the sky is part of a galaxy, or a huge collection of stars, gas, dust, and other material. Galaxies are held together by gravity, much the same way that our solar system is held together by the sun's gravity. The Milky Way is our galaxy, where our solar system is located, but the solar system is just a tiny piece of the galaxy. The Milky Way is enormous, at least 100,000 light-years across. A light-year is how far light can travel in 1 year, nearly 6 trillion miles. In addition, the Milky Way has at least 200 billion stars and probably at least 100 billion planets in it. Although it is massive, the Milky Way is not alone in the sky. It's part of a collection of other galaxies called the Local Group, made of about 50 galaxies nearby to ours. The Local Group is estimated to be at least 10 million light-years across. Outside of the Local Group, scientists estimate that at least 170 billion galaxies exist in the part of the universe that can be seen from Earth, and there is no way to know how many more there are beyond that. Galaxies come in many different shapes and sizes. They may have only a few million stars in them, or over 1 trillion. They may be elliptical, spiral, or irregular in shape. The Milky Way, like most known galaxies, is a spiral galaxy. Although no one knows what the Milky Way actually looks like because it is impossible to see all of it from the inside, careful observations of it as well as other galaxies has given scientists a good idea of its shape. There are 4 main parts in the Milky Way. In the center is the bulge, or galactic center. This is a round bump in the center of the galaxy, about 10,000 light-years across, densely packed with stars and other material. Scientists believe that at the very center of the Milky Way is a giant black hole. The galactic center is the brightest part of the galaxy. Next is the disk, a flattened region surrounding the bulge in the center. The disk is about 100,000 light-years across. It is filled with young stars, gas, and dust, concentrated in the spiral arms. The spiral arms are part of the disk and make the galaxy look a little like a pinwheel. Our solar system is located in one of the Milky Way's spiral arms, where star systems are spread much farther apart than in the crowded galactic center. The last part of the Milky Way is the halo. The halo is a mostly spherical layer of old stars and star clusters that surrounds the main disk of the galaxy. The halo is very empty compared to the rest of the galaxy, with everything in it spread very far apart. Ancient Greek philosophers thousands of years ago first suggested that the Milky Way might be made of faraway stars that were close together, but there was no way to prove this until the 1600s, when the astronomer Galileo Galilei observed the Milky Way with his telescope and discovered that it was, in fact, made of many, many faint stars. If you can find somewhere to go that is very dark and far from the lights of cities and cars, you too can see the mysterious sight that inspired myths and legends for thousands of years, the Milky Way.
So that was Milky Way. A term was there in that video, light year. So what is light year? A light year is the distance traveled by light in 1 year. It is used to measure the distances between various heavenly bodies in the universe. The speed of light is 300,000 kilometers per second. Thus, light travels a distance of about 9 lakh 50,000 crore kilometer in 1 year. Light travels a distance of about 9,50,000 crore kilometer in 1 year. The next topic which we are going to discuss are the stars. Stars are huge bodies made up of very hot gases. We all have seen stars in the night sky. They have their own light and heat. They twinkle at night. They look very small. Why is it so? Because they are very far away from us. We can see about 6,000 stars in the sky at night. The sun is also a star. It looks like big as it is very close to the earth. Okay? The stars look small, but the sun being a star, it looks big. Why? Because the stars which we see are very far away from us, but the sun being a star is very close to our planet. That is why it looks big. The nearest star to the earth apart from sun is Proxima Centauri. It is more than 4.24 light years away. The stars are formed from the clouds of gas and dust in space, which is called nebula. Okay, what is nebula? Nebula are the clouds of gases and dust. It is because of these clouds the stars are formed. It can be visible if there are stars in or near it. The next topic which we are going to discuss is the solar system. The solar system, the word solar in it is derived from Latin word solaris, which means sun. The family of the sun is known as the solar system. It consists of the sun, 8 planets, about 100 known satellites like the moon and asteroids, meteors and comets. It is a part of the Milky Way galaxy and it is about 27,000 light years away from the center of the Milky Way galaxy. It is about 470 crore years old and is about 1200 crore kilometer wide. So what we were discussing, that the solar system, the family of sun is known as the solar system. The sun and the 8 planets along with the satellites, moon, asteroids, meteors, comets, all are a part of solar system and it is a part of Milky Way galaxy, which is about 27,000 light years away from the center of Milky Way galaxy. How old is our solar system? Our solar system is 470 crore years old. And what is the width of the solar system? It is about 1200 crore kilometer wide. The next we are moving on to the head of the solar system, that is the important member of the solar system. Without this one, the solar system would not have been existed. So the sun is the largest member of the solar system, which is located at the center of the solar system. The diameter of the sun is 109 times greater than the diameter of earth. These are some data regarding the sun. Okay, and its distance from the earth is 15 crore kilometer. The temperature, as we know that it is a hot ball of fire. Since childhood, you have been learning about it. In essays that the sun is a star, it is a hot ball of fire. So the temperature at the surface of the sun is 6,000 degrees Celsius, and at the center is 1,50,00,000 degrees Celsius. That is 1,50,00,000 degrees Celsius. It is the main source of heat and light for all forms of life on the earth. That is why ancient people always worshipped the sun as a god. Not the ancient people, we too worship sun as god. The speed of light traveling from the sun is 3,00,000 km per second. The time taken by the rays of the sun to reach the earth is 8 minutes and 20 seconds. Do go with these datas only, because these datas are given in your book. Okay. The time taken by the rays of the sun to reach the earth is 8 minutes and 20 seconds. What is keeping all the members together in the solar system is the gravitational pull of the sun. The gravitational pull of the sun keeps all the members of the solar system together. Next, we'll have a video regarding the sun. Let us watch it.
It rises in the morning, giving light to the land below it. It sets in the evening, leaving the world in darkness. It even provides the heat and energy necessary for life to survive on Earth. You know what I'm talking about, the sun. Because it is so important to us, the sun has been studied and observed since ancient times. Astronomers today still study it and are constantly learning new things about the sun, the center of the solar system. The sun is a star, not so different from the stars that can be seen in the night sky. It may look different, but that is because the sun is many times closer to us than any other star, which allows us to see how hot and bright it is. The sun may be close to us compared to other stars, but it is still very far from the Earth, about 93 million miles or 150 million kilometers away. Although the sun is so far away, it only takes sunlight about 8 minutes to reach the Earth because light travels so fast. Because the sun is so far away, however, it seems much smaller than it really is, more than 100 times the width of the Earth. The sun is so large that if it were empty, more than 1 million Earths could fit inside. The sun is the largest object in the solar system. In fact, if you collected everything in the solar system, including the sun, the planets and dwarf planets, comets, asteroids, and moons, the sun would account for more than 99% of it, with everything else adding up to less than 1% of the solar system. As far as stars go, however, the sun is average or even small in size. It is called a yellow dwarf, and there are billions of stars like it in the Milky Way. Like other stars, the sun is made of gases, mostly hydrogen, with a little helium, and only traces of other elements. These gases are held together by the sun's gravity, which creates such intense heat and pressure that it causes nuclear fusion, a process in which hydrogen atoms fuse to create helium at its core. The sun's core is about 27 million degrees Fahrenheit or 15 million degrees Celsius. By the time heat from the sun's core reaches its surface, temperatures have dropped considerably. The surface of the sun is only about 10,000 degrees Fahrenheit or 5,500 degrees Celsius. Unlike the Earth, the sun does not have a solid surface. You may be surprised to learn that the sun's gassy surface is not calm and quiet. Instead, the sun is constantly moving and changing, with sunspots, or dark patches of cooler temperatures, and solar flares, or eruptions of high-energy radiation, frequently marking its surface. All of the planets in the solar system, including the Earth, orbit around the sun. In turn, the solar system orbits around the center of the galaxy in which we live, the Milky Way. It only takes the Earth 1 year to complete an orbit around the sun, but scientists estimate that it will take the sun about 230 million years to complete an orbit of the galaxy. Since ancient times, humans have understood how important the sun is for life on Earth. Without the energy provided by the sun's radiation, the Earth would be dark, cold, and uninhabitable. Although it has been studied for thousands of years, there is still much to learn about the sun. I hope you enjoyed learning about the sun, the center of our solar system.
So as you have seen about the sun, today we are ending our class with this topic only, up to the sun only. The next video I'll be uploading soon, in which we'll be discussing about the planets, and we'll also discuss the exercise questions related to this particular chapter and the topics which we have learned so far. Thank you and have a nice day.